Are you thinking about booking the Carnival Breeze cruise? Before you set sail, let's break down the top pros and cons so you know exactly what to expect before you get on your cruise. From the food, to the fun, to the good, to the bad, to the ugly, I've got you covered. If you love cruise ships, ship reviews, solo travel insights, then don't forget to like and subscribe to my growing channel where I'm bringing you all the goodies that you need to know for every cruise journey that you may take. So sit back, relax, and let's get started on the top pros and cons of the Carnival Breeze cruise ship. Okay guys, so you know if you've been watching my channel that I recently had a sailing on the Carnival Breeze. And so today I'm sharing you the highs and the lows so that you can decide if it's the right ship for you. Now, if you've watched all the other videos in my series, some of these things may not be a surprise, but I have included some little Easter eggs for you guys, so stay tuned. And guess what? This is not sponsored at all. These are all my opinions from me taking a cruise, and I paid for that cruise in combination with casino credits. But these are truly my opinions. I do not have a sponsorship. I do not have an affiliation with Carnival or any cruise line for that matter. So these are 100% my opinions based on my travels. And so I'm here to help give you guys the scoop. We're going to start with the pros because I know everyone wants to hear the down and dirty cons, but we'll get to those in a little bit, right? So let's talk about pro number one of the Carnival Breeze. The entertainment and the fun atmosphere. I do truly believe Carnival does great, probably no matter what cruise ship you may be on. I have not been on all of them, but I do know that Carnival, they do brand themselves as the fun ship, and I do believe that they have great entertainment and a fun overall atmosphere. The comedy shows, the live music, the deck parties, these are definitely things that are great for travelers who love that high energy and variety on a cruise ship. Carnival definitely knows how to get this one right for sure. So if you're looking for entertainment and a fun, vibrant atmosphere, then you're definitely going to find that on the Carnival Breeze. Let's talk about pro number two, food variety. I just recently finished a food guide, if you will. So if you want a more in-depth look at food and my opinions of dining on the Carnival Breeze, go check out that video. But let's just say overall, there is a great variety of food on the Carnival Breeze. And I would say Carnival in general does also a very good job of having a great variety and also options that are included in your cruise fare. So whether we're talking about Guy's Burgers or the Blue Iguana Cantina, the Lido Marketplace buffet, or the main dining, those are all great options that are included. But they do also have those specialty restaurants. They have the barbecue restaurant, the Pig and Anchor, Cucina del Capitano, Italian restaurant. They have Bonsai Sushi. They have a steakhouse. So they have a lot of variety of both included and specialty dining that's going to make sure you're not ever going to get bored with food on the Carnival Breeze. So that is definitely pro number two. Pro number three, especially if you are looking for a family-friendly or multi-age friendly ship, the Carnival Breeze, you're going to find a little bit of everything on this ship. And if you do have a family, they do have the Camp Ocean, Circle C, and Club O2, which are like the kids clubs. So they do have those. And then they also do have the Serenity Adult Only Retreat area. So it all kind of balances the vibe. If you need some quiet space, they have that adult only area. But if you want to bring your family and you still want some alone time, they do have the kids clubs to help keep the kids occupied. So I definitely would say this is a family and multi-age friendly cruise ship for sure. So that definitely is a pro for a lot of you who are looking for those type of things. Let's talk about the next one. Pro number 4. You guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, I love a mid-sized ship. To me, the mid-sized ships, that's kind of a tongue twister. But to me, the mid-sized ships, they just are easier to navigate. They don't feel so overwhelming, but yet they're still big enough to have all the amenities and things that you want to find on your cruise adventure. And this rings true for the Carnival Breeze. It's not the largest ship. It's not the smallest ship. It sits kind of right in the middle, with that 3,000 passenger range, if you will, that I consider like a mid-sized ship. So definitely not as big as the Jubilee or the big Royal Caribbean ships, but not so small that it's not fun. There are lots of things to do. I think it's a great size. I love this size of ship from any brand. So again, you know, it just gives you that big enough size for all the amenities, but it's small enough that it doesn't take you a whole day just to figure out where everything is. So I think this is a major pro for the Carnival Breeze, is the mid-sized feel of the ship. Okay, let's talk about pro number 5, the value for the price that you get on not just the Carnival Breeze, but I would say most all Carnival cruise ships. They do offer a great value for what you get. They offer a lot of the same or similar perks, oftentimes even more options when it comes to food and dining that are included. And you still get to go to a lot of the same destinations. So if you're looking for value, you definitely are going to find that here on the Carnival Breeze. Now, I know we're rolling through this really quick, but I don't want to make this video very long, so stick in there. We're going to talk about the cons next, and we'll get through this video really quick so that you'll be ready to book your adventure. But by the way, if you have not subscribed yet, come on, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, and if you're enjoying or getting any value at all out of what I'm providing to you, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, but it helps me out a lot. So let's go ahead and talk about the cons. So now, don't come at me if you don't agree with me. Remember, these are just my opinions. Some people get really feisty, but these are 100% my opinions and my opinions only. So I would love for you guys to go take a trip and let me know if you agree with me or not. But these are my observations, and none of these would prevent me from going on this cruise again. So just because I may have some criticisms doesn't mean that I would never cruise with them again, you know. But let's talk about number 1, crowds and wait times. Now, I mostly noticed this in the buffet area. It got to a point where I didn't even want to go to the buffet because I was like, it's just going to be a nightmare. And I get really anxious around like those big crowds and trying to find a table to sit. And I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. But a lot of times, especially if you go during the peak times, you know, the main lunch hour, the main dinner hour, the main breakfast time, whatever, they're going to be backed up. And especially if you want that Mongolian grill, which is really good, by the way, you're going to have to wait in line. So just prepare yourself, or try to go during times that not everybody else is going. For example, I would always wake up really early, roll out of bed, bedhead and everything, and go to the buffet for breakfast. I would start with like a bowl of cereal, and then when they opened up the main line, I would hurry up and get my omelet before it got too busy. So that's just kind of an example of, you know, what you can do. I know not everyone is going to be like me and want to get up that early, but just be aware, especially in the buffet, the wait lines and the times and the crowds, it can get overwhelming. So just be aware of that. Plan around it. It's not the end of the world. You can definitely plan around it. Same way with the guys' burgers and stuff. If you go on the first day, there's going to be a long line, but if you just be patient, you will find times that there's no line at all. And that's usually what I did. So just be aware, there are a lot of crowds and wait times, sometimes especially surrounding the food venues. So just keep in mind what time you're going and try to plan around it. Okay, con number 2, I'm just about to go in. You guys, you already know if you've watched my other videos, but The cleanliness and the maintenance of this ship, Carnival, y'all have to do better. I'm telling you, I have been on a lot of cruise ships, and I've been on a lot of really old cruise ships. This one's not even the oldest cruise ship that I've been on, and it's in worse condition than some of those other ones. And I'm not saying every single room and every single area of the ship is going to be this way, but I noticed it throughout. Not only did I have to move rooms because my air conditioner didn't work, there were cleanliness issues. The shower curtains were falling apart and they didn't even have the tools to fix them. Not only those things, but I noticed around the ship, I have several photos and videos of glass that was cracked around the ship, especially like in the buffet areas where the glass is just cracked down the side and had not been repaired, where it was just kind of dirty and just not clean. And I will tell you guys, if you look at the CDC, I forget what the exact report is called, but it's basically where they score the cruise ships on their sanitization scoring. Although the Carnival Breeze did pass, they barely passed by the skin of their teeth. You know, like it was like a very low score. So, and I noticed that when I was on the ship. I mean, I actually went on this cruise wanting to disprove everyone that had talked bad about the cleanliness and maintenance, but unfortunately, I did see it for myself. Now, I will say, my second room that they moved me to after they couldn't get the first room air conditioner fixed, the cabin steward that I had in that room, and that room was much better. The air conditioner worked great. It was very clean. The cabin steward was amazing. So, you know, some of this could be, I don't know. I don't know really what the issue is, but what I will tell you is just be aware of this so that you're not disappointed when you get on the ship that this could be an issue. And if you get on the ship and your room is perfect and they've corrected all these issues, then you're going to have an even better time. But just be aware. If I were you, I would go ahead and bring some cleaning wipes and just be non-afraid to ask your room steward to tidy up things if you notice things that need attention. So that's con number 2. Okay, let's talk about con number 3. I talked about before how much I liked the variety and options that the Carnival Breeze offers for food, but I will tell you the food quality can vary. I was not a fan of the food in the buffet, with the exception of the omelets in the morning. Like, they custom make whatever kind of omelet or eggs you want from real eggs. And the Mongolian grill in the buffet, I really enjoyed. But other than that, I really thought the food in the buffet was not up to par compared to other cruise ships. So that to me was kind of a downer. However, I thought the specialty dining was fantastic on this, even compared to a celebrity ship that I just got off of recently. So I think it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but just be aware the food quality can vary, but luckily there's a lot of different options. So if you find a place that you don't like, then you can go there. The other thing I was disappointed in, the buffet area for breakfast did not have any non-pork meat options. Everything was pork pretty much. And every time I would ask, they would say, oh, well, you can go to the main dining room for breakfast, or you can go out to the Blue Iguana Cantina. They have chicken sausage and other things. And I'm like, if you have it on the ship, why not just offer it in the buffet? That just kind of blew my mind. I don't know why. It seemed kind of crazy. I know I'm not the only one who doesn't eat pork in the world. So, you know, in terms of food, that's con number 3. I just think it can vary. So just be prepared for that. There are some great finds in food on the ship. So if you find something that you're not a fan of, just try something else. Okay, con number 4. This one you guys may come for me because a lot of people go on Carnival because it's the fun ship. However, I thought sometimes it could be a little too loud. I'm not hugely into the party scene anymore these days. I do love a good sail away, and I do love a good, you know, like vibe for nighttime entertainment. But I don't like it when that party and the loudness comes back to the hallways of my cabin room area. Now, I will tell you, I only noticed this when I was on the floor 1, like, so the very first floor, my first room, interior cabin was on the first floor. For some reason, that floor was so much louder than when they moved me up to the 6th floor. I'm not sure why that is per se, but I noticed considerably a difference when I moved from the first floor to the 6th floor. And again, I don't know if it's because all the rooms down on the first floor were interior cabins and maybe there were more of them, or maybe those people were just more lively. I don't know. But I did notice it was really loud. I mean, they were loud late at night. So take that for what you will, but something to consider for sure as you're picking out your room. If you end up down on one of those lower level floors where there's mostly interior rooms, you may want to be aware that it could be a little bit loud and the party vibes can continue there. Okay, and let's talk about number 5. This is not necessarily a con just for the Carnival Breeze, but more so the cruising industry in general. If you've never been on a cruise, this is something you want to think about for sure, but the extra costs can add up. So I know we all like to think, oh, our cruise is paid for, and it very well can be paid for. You don't have to pay for anything else once you get on the ship. However, if you want specialty dining, or if you want the all-inclusive drink packages and you want to do excursions, etc., these costs do add up, and they are additional costs from what you pay for your cruise fare. So just be aware of that and just keep an eye out for deals, because almost all cruise lines, Carnival included, will offer deals if you have their app. You can keep an eye on, or even go on their website, keep an eye for any deals or specials that they may have going on. And, just be aware ahead of time that those things can add up. I will also say, if you're thinking about a drink package, really pay attention to what the limits are on the drink packages. Some of them have limits of how many drinks you can have, and then tell yourself, am I going to drink that many drinks, first of all, each and every day, especially on the days that we have port visits? Am I going to drink that much every single day? And 2, how much do I realistically think I'm going to drink, and how much would that cost me if I just paid for it individually versus in a drink package? Now, some people will say they don't want to think about it. They just want to be able to do whatever they want, and that's fine. But if you are on a budget, these are some things that you need to think about. Oftentimes, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I used to back in the day, but even when I'm thinking about a soda package, excuse me, I'm thinking about, okay, how much is this soda package going to cost me versus after I bring on my 12-pack of sodas in the can, how much am I really going to be drinking extra? And oftentimes I find that I'll just go ahead and pay for it individually and then save that extra money for an excursion or something that I value a little bit more. The main goal here, guys, is just to budget ahead, think ahead, and think through all of these things. So, overall, I would say the Carnival Breeze is absolutely a fantastic value ship, and it's packed full of fun. It goes right out of the Galveston port here in Galveston, Texas. And, but if you're looking for luxury, gourmet cuisine, or super quiet escape, this is probably not going to be the ship for you. This is definitely going to be your fun ship. It's definitely going to be a value proposition in terms of where it fits in cost. And it's not going to be a super quiet escape. I mean, it's going to be a fun, lively ship. And so if that's what you're looking for, it will be perfect. And if not, maybe you should look into something else. So I want to hear from you. Have you guys been on the Carnival Breeze? I would love for you to drop your pros and cons in the comments below. I want to hear your take. I love hearing other people's perspectives, whether or not they agree with me. That's fine, because we all have our own opinion. But I would love to hear it. So let me know in the comments. Let's continue the conversation below. And if this was helpful at all, guys, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more cruise reviews, and check out my other adventures in the playlist that's going to be at the end of the video. I would greatly appreciate it. So we have lots of good things going. I think I'm going to do a video where I just answer a lot of the questions that it seems like people have been asking. I did that with the Freedom of the Seas recently, and people seem to like that. So I'm probably going to do something like that as just one last video. And then we're going to jump right into my Alaskan cruise series on the Celebrity Edge. Those videos will be coming soon as well. So I have a lot of great content planned for you guys, and I'm going to keep them coming. So you keep coming back, and we'll see you in the comments. Bye.